Sorry, distinguished Toastmaster Summer Kamal, who will be doing his speech entitled, hold on, doing his speech, level 2, project 2, understanding communication style, under his pathway, effective communication, speech title, it's the filter. To introduce him, when it comes to leadership, he is my idol. I always look up him when it comes to leadership. He is, for me, a great leader. An icon of Toastmaster, famous in District 79. And I call him the galvanizer, which means the inspirer, because all of us got inspired from him. Ladies and gentlemen, to speak with a speech title, It's the Filler, please join me in welcoming distinguished Toastmaster, Summer Kamal. A big round, a warm of applause, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. It's very hot. Well thought, but my AC is working for 12 hours, but still is not doing anything. Who from you is suffering the same? The AC is working, but there is nothing. The space is not cool enough. Yesterday, one of my ACs was doing the same. And I discovered that the problem is not in the AC, is not in the space, and even if it's not outside, of course, still a problem, 47 degrees, but it's in the filter of the AC. The moment that I grab this filter and clean it, it brings more cool air to the room. And that's actually happens and reflect on our lives. Each one of us have a lot of filters and layers in front of him, especially when it comes to communicating with people. These filters can be culture, can be language, can be the history, can be the incidents and the events that happen to our lives. It can affect our communications, our understanding to each other. And most of the time, actually, in our teams, in our work, even with our families, conflicts happens because of these filters, because we are not aware that there are differences in the filters between us and others. Men and women, a lot of filters between them. Boys or adults and children, a lot of difference between them. Generations have a lot of difference between them, or filters. The first time I realized that one of the filters is the communication style. Each one of us have his own communication style. And it's considered a big filter and a large filter between us and others. And the moment I realized that kind of differences, when I was around 15 years old, when my father told me, Samer, you are a person who is hardly express his emotions. I told him, what's the difference between me and others? I think all of us are doing that. All of us, we don't express our emotions. He said, no, I express my emotions to you, my son, to my wife, but you, I see in your eyes that you miss your mother who traveled for 2 weeks now, but you're not expressing your love to her. You're not expressing that you are missing her. So, Samer, take care in your future that you are a person who doesn't relieve or express his emotions. Of course, my friends, that anything our father says, we throw it away. Until the moment we become adults and we become in another problem and we remember what our dads told us and we value what did they say. It happened when I got graduated and started joining the business world, working in a company and attending meetings. And I found that my nature is not that approachable. I don't approach people to talk to them or initiate talk to the people. In the meetings, I don't suggest or I don't say my opinion until someone asks me about it. And that made a lot of issues and problems between me and my management because they expecting, and that's a filter, they are expecting me to speak without being asked, while my nature says that I will not speak until I've been asked. And it affected my progress in my work at the beginnings. The other thing that I found that it's maybe a challenge in work, that in my nature, I'm very slow, but I'm very sure. And they call it slowly but surely. I can take my time in finishing my task, but I'll be sure that I'm finishing it correct and in perfect way. While the other side, especially my management or my client, they need the task as soon as possible. And that's result in an inefficient or in a bad way our relationship between me and the client or a management. It's a result of not being aware of the differences between me and others. What if I was aware of that my management was from a different style? I could have balance between being slowly and surely and being efficient in achieving a milestone or making or delivering my project in a more quick way. And it may have impacted my career in more positive way. Even in my volunteer work, when I start working in a leadership of another organization than Toastmasters, which is the Jordanian engineers, I found that I'm not that comfortable like I am in Toastmasters. Why? I realized that I'm very comfortable in working in a structural environment, while the new organization is not. They don't have a rule book, they don't have a handbook, they don't have roles and descriptions. So I don't feel comfortable working there. When I took this assessment of this project communication styles, I knew that I am categorized as analytical style communicator. That's all these descriptions and all this incident happened to me because I am from this category that I love to work in a structural environment. I love to be accurate. I love to do the task very perfectly, even if it takes time. And it's hard for me to express myself. The benefit here from this assessment that I knew about the other styles. And then I start reflecting that my father was one of those styles and my manager was one of the other styles. So here and from now on, I can understand how to deal with people in a different way, understanding that they have different filters than what I have. I start to clean my filters more frequently and understand and realize that they have more filters. Let me work with them in a more communicator or open way and efficient way. What's about you? What's about you? You have a filter? When did you clean it? Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Wow, another wonderful speech. Did I mention leader? See, we have learned a lot. For me, I learned a lot, and I can even relate to it. That all of us has differences, has different style, but at the end, we have different perspective. But at the end, we will learn from each other. All right.